If fantasy and romance are what you seek, featuring heroines who aren't quite so meek, with book talk and Instagram full of deceit, simply listen to our podcast, Our Picks of the Week.
Oh no, it's bad.
That sounded like the beginning of Every Rose Has Its Thorns, the like heavy sigh.
This is going to be controversial. This is a super popular book.
Yeah, dude. I am angry, I think. So we have heard about this book, talked about this book. It has been on the periphery of, our podcast, I feel like, since the beginning almost. I don't even know when this was published. So I finally took the dive and I was like, you know what? I want to know. I want to be an informed hater.
You are a braver soul than I am.
I honestly am not even going to oppose that because I am. I feel like I'm a survivor.
You are.
I tried Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton. I wanted to know what the fuss was about, if this was actually like a dark romance, if, some of the haters were maybe a bit, egregious in their claims. This is especially coming off of Alchemized, where I feel like there was a lot of kind of silly hate about it and about some of the plot lines. And I was like, maybe, Haunting Adeline had the same treatment. Let me go into this. Nah, dog. This did not get a fourth, an eighth of the hate that it deserves. It was atrocious.
I am looking at the Goodreads synopsis and I want to hurl.
Yeah, dude. And that's the worst part is I am intrigued in the premise that she kind of put together of a stalker romance or not my usual cup of tea, but it's there's a time and a place for a dark romance. Lights Out, I didn't hate. It was kind of fun in a silly way. That's one of the similar books. Lights Out by Navessa Allen. Same stalker romance, but it's a little bit consensual. This was not. This
Really?
was straight up red pill propaganda.
What?
Dude, you should honestly drink a couple glasses of wine, try it, and then you'll understand how much I fucking hate this book. Premise. Addie, and it's written in the first person too.
Oh, I can tell. I'm looking at it it's multiple perspective too, isn't it?
Dude. Okay. Well, actually, no. Let me start with the most egregious crime that happens in this. This is traditionally published. You can find this in fucking Barnes and Noble. My problem, and this is, I'm
very heated.
I counted. It got to the point where I was I need to count these so that I have some kind of numerical justification. 9 errors in 30 pages.
What?
Yes. And these aren't minimal errors either. They're spelling errors, words dropped out of sentences, formatting errors where a paragraph just stops halfway through. There's some of
this.
Dude, these are crazy, you didn't even send it through Word document check.
What?
One of my most egregious, this is the point that I started counting because I'm what the fuck does this mean? This is a quote. Groaning, I let her hurdle me up the stairs and into my bedroom.
What?
Hurdle.
That is not how that one works.
No! And there was so many of these because the first couple, I was you know what? This is I don't think that's how you use that word, but I am not one to judge. And then I got to hurdle me up the stairs and I was you gotta be fucking kidding me.
This book is $15 at Target. It is $55 on Etsy for the duet. There's another $112 version on Etsy.
Dude.
Yep. Yeah. Sorry. Continue.
Yeah, because it was finally free on Kindle Unlimited. So I was okay, this is my chance or whatever. But yeah, heinous for a book that is being sold for $15 and it hasn't gone through any kind of actual editing process, insane. But then we get into the actual grievances that I have. So it starts off silly, very Bella Twilight, cringy coded, whatever. She is a well-selling author, amazing, obviously beautiful, but weird, meeting her fans or anything. And so she's at a book signing. Her grandma, who she was super close with, just died. And so she moved into her mansion in the middle of Seattle somewhere.
Oh, sure you did.
Yeah. Obviously serial killer capital, whatever. So she's at a book signing and she's like, oh my God, it's so awkward, like talking to my fans. Like, I always clam up, but I want to be like good for them and like, hee hee hee. And of course, she sees someone out of the corner of her eye who's like watching her. And she's like, oh my God, I'd never seen someone so handsome, but like so scary looking. And this is the beginning of this guy's like fascination with her, whatever. So he legit starts stalking her. And so she lives in this like very spooky house. There's like a ghost subplot line. Yeah. But it's like that was the most like convincing part of the like story. And apparently it doesn't go anywhere. Like there's no actual ghosts anywhere in the story.
Did you watch You on Hulu?
Yeah. That has everything that this is missing.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's bad.
Like convincing, interesting characters? No. Because that's where the first like cardinal sin happens in this fucking book is like chapter 2 or chapter 3. It's the first chapter from his perspective.
Girl, you lost me already.
Oh my, yeah. Well, yeah, there's perspective switching. This is the most, if you had your 13-year-old brother whose only exposure to women was like the internet, who exclusively plays like Fortnite and Call of Duty with older adult men and like talks in the lobby with them, if you asked him to write the male love interest for that book, that would be a better version of what happened in this book. He's the most like edgelord, like he validates his like creepy stalking, like all kinds of trigger warnings of the main character, Addie, because he like goes after pedophiles and like human trafficking, which is crazy because it's like you are like saving these victims or whatever, but then you're going to turn around and basically do a version of the same thing to the girl that you apparently love. Like, how does that work in your brain? But he's like, I have been like trained to do this. I'm like, you know, I don't give a fuck what these other people are, you know, worried about. I'm going to like go in and kill everyone and like save everyone and like don't let her feet touch the ground because she's like has been through too much. It's so fucking cringy. Just like people don't talk like this. Like this is like a 13-year-old being like self-insert. Yes, it was so bad.
So I was reading a post somewhere, and there was a debate about. Actually, I think this came up because there was an author on YouTube who was like ranting against like romantasy girls, and I didn't watch the original YouTube, but there's a lot of fallout around it, and it was a bunch of the pushback was like, hey, all of this like problematic tropes and like stalker behavior, like all of your dark romance check boxes here, it's all fantasy, it's all like fiction, and like people are allowed to enjoy whatever they want in their own like fantasy brainland.
Yeah.
And it's not a reflection on their actual values.
Yeah.
Like the same way, well, Stephen King, who knows?
Yeah.
But like
argument can be made.
Like there's an argument there. Anyway, continue. I don't know where I'm going with that.
No, I feel the exact same way because I've read some like fanfics that are very like questionable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Guilty. Except that was the part where I got to my like stopping point. I gave this book like 33%. I was like, you know what?
You never stopped that soon.
The ghost plot line, I was like, I'm a little bit scared, a little bit frightened. Like, I want to know because her house is haunted. Her grandma had a stalker too, but that was like more of a consensual. Like, her grandma's like, who is this like hot man that keeps like watching me through the window? He like won't talk to me, but he's like staring at me. She's like a quintessential, like, has to stay at home. The husband ignores her. Now she has a stalker. And she's like trying to figure out the mystery because her grandma got murdered. So it's like, that's a very interesting like plot line. But it does not excuse the actual crime that happened at 33%. This is the first, you know, so Zaid, the love interest, yeah, dude. He goes by Z. Yeah. Yeah. So he's obviously like getting like closer and closer to Adalyn. He like hangs out outside her house and she's like, fucker, like, leave me alone. I'm going to call the police. She calls the police. He disappears, et cetera, et cetera. He keeps like leaving stuff in her house, like obvious violations. It doesn't feel consensual in all of this, but she's also like, I'm interested in what's going on. Like, who is this guy? Why does he keep calling me? But she's like very like clearly saying no about all of this. Then we get to 33%. Trigger warning. I'll give you a second pause. This is their first like smut scene, and I am air quoting right now because it's legit just rape.
Oh, shit.
She is crying the whole time. She's saying no. She's like, why are you doing this? Legit, full-on rape scene.
Ugh.
Yeah. Yep. There's nothing romantic about it. There's nothing like dark romance-y feeling. It's like not even like consensual non-consent. Like it's straight up like this is like red pill propaganda.
I'm looking at, so like the first review that pops up on Goodreads is like a 1-star, and it's a novel. Like points out a lot of the same errors that you pointed out. And it looks like most of the reviews are 1-star. So I'm wondering if this is like BookTok hype that just made this book gain so much traction when in reality it's this.
Yeah. Dude, I have no idea. I don't know how this got popular. I don't know how it got like Barnes and Noble was willing to sell it. Like it's
who is the publisher on this? Like
I don't know, because I kind of think it was like a self-published book that eventually got like picked up maybe, or I don't even know.
Weird.
But dude, it was it just made me sad, angry, a little bit irritated.
There was a book I read earlier this year about literal death being a stalker of this. Do you remember that one I was talking about? It sounds very similar to this, but I was able to enjoy it and read it. So I'll see if I can find. It's so far in the back of my brain.
That was like a little, journey that you were taking. And that's the thing. So books that are similar, Belladonna by Adalyn Grace, if you want like an actual like ghostly presence.
If you want a real book.
Yeah.
Oh, the publisher is Zando, by the way.
Zando?
I've never even heard of that.
I haven't either.
Anyway.
Yeah, and then the other one I already mentioned, Lights Out by Navessa Allen. I got well into that book and I only stopped because of like plot reasons. Like they had this like random mafia thing that like happened halfway through, didn't love. But I will say Lights Out has very similar themes. He's a stalker. There's some like, non-consent things going on, but it's very clearly like consensual and like they're both into it, and it's like a little bit scary, but it's like scary in a way that they're both like, yeah, I'm agreeing to this. I would like to be a little bit frightened when all of this is happening. It almost felt like Lights Out was like the same with the Sheikh in the Blue Sword, how the Sheikh was like so out of pocket and crazy, and then the lady who wrote the Blue Sword is like, okay, I'm gonna show you how to fucking write a book like this.
That's a good call.
Yeah, so that felt like what Lights Out was, like a response to Haunting Adeline. I don't know if that's true or not, but it definitely like felt like it was. Don't bother. Do not bother with this book.
After this review, absolutely not.
No, I did a public service. Don't fall for the hype. This was heinous and not well written. So it's heinous and bad. Haunting Adeline, H.D. Carlton. Don't do it.
From Katie's shelf?
Garbage can.
Garbage can to yours.
We'll see you on the next page. Hi, readers. Like what you've been hearing? Check out the Spice Archive at notanotherheroine.com to see all of our reviews and ratings. And if you'd like to support our growing library, find us on Patreon and get access to exclusive bonus content.
If you'd like to just listen, we post new episodes every Monday and Wednesday on Spotify, Apple, and Amazon. Thanks for listening.